G-Fella, tracking to your music, you know? Listen, let me talk to you for a minute. The mafiosa, gun-toter, game's over. Broad spread mold cheeks, then king cobras. Call million plus, yeah, they think I'm nuts. I must be cashews, then I blast you. Give and take away, just like man. Yeah, we at Cha-Cha's, the world famous, Mulberry Street, you know, New York. If you don't know Cha-Cha's, then you don't know what you're doing. But come here, look, this Cha-Cha right here, it's the Wall of Fame, De Niro, Pesci, every one of them. This is where you are. If you don't make the wall, it's over. More ways than one. Acting like the top, good way to get spun. Since day one, wide-eyed pansies. Neck and wrist frigid. Cocky just a smidget. Whip so fire, couldn't help burn bridges. Money big grown up. G-Fella is one of the best rappers you ever heard in your life. Forget that I'm Italian. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear nothing. That's just genetic. But people who know me know that nobody grinds like me. Number one. Everything that I've done from day one got me where I'm at today. And people that vouch for me get it. Go to Eric B, you know, one of the respected pioneers of hip hop. Talk to him all the way up into actors, rappers. I met Will Smith, Queen Latifah I worked with very closely, LL Cool J, Jadakiss, Fat Joe, Swizz Beatz. Anybody you talk to and you say G-Fella, Italian kid with the tat on his arm, this thing, see his nickname, Soprano, they gave this thing. So I was the only Italian dude in the hood, man.
Oh, that's what's up. I like that. What's the relationship with Soprano? So is this just said because that was a hot name at the time, or is that something else?
Basically, when the streets was buzzing, when you had to go and make your name. Right. You know? Spitting, Harlem, Brooklyn, wherever we was at, I'd pull up, Jaguar, 20-something rims, jewels, by myself, leave it running, battling people. They'd be like, oh, Tony Soprano is in the hood. You know what I mean? That's just how it came. That's how the nickname came about.
Alright, so it was the name that they gave you instead of the name you picked.
Yeah, that's very important. Jadakiss was pretty much one of the first to stop calling me that.
Oh, that's what's up. It's a big cosign right there. You just got picked for a top 10 on the new BET list. Top rappers for the the new millennium.
Yeah.
Alright, what separates G-Fella from other artists in the game?
You know, we talk about this all the time. Like, there's no identity, like, to me, like, now. Like, I don't know, you know, like, not hating on people's hustle and their styles and stuff, but, you know, to me, there's no identities, you know, and there's no movement and no true movement or true, like, icon figure anymore. Like, you know, and to me, I bring G-Fella as a brand, you know, even my logo, like, it's a shield, it's a G, like, you know, we went branding from jump, and I think that if I step on the stage with 25 other rappers, you can pick them from all over the world, I'm gonna leave that mark. Like, people gonna be like, yo, that kid right there, though, who's he? What's his name? And I think it's originality. You know, it's really basic my story, you know, that I'm bringing to the table, and it makes me stand out from everybody.
Give me an example of your story. Give me just one example, because I know your story can go, like, phenomenal. I mean, I just had to come down Mulberry to get here, so I can imagine the story. But give me one story that could define G-Fella. What we got right here sitting at this restaurant, Cha-Cha's.
Okay, we're sitting here at this restaurant, Cha-Cha's. Let's talk about here. You know, basically, I'm sitting in Mulberry Street where you can't even film without permission. Right. You know? Like, there's people that had to come down here and talk to Cha-Cha and other people in this area, if you know what I'm saying, to even get permission to bring cameras down here, you know? And if you look at the history, there's no, you know, there's hardly any movies or any music videos in down here. And we're walking around like it doesn't even matter, and Cha-Cha left me his whole restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, to do whatever I want because I have a relationship with these people. So, like me, all these grinding, all the stuff that I do leads to other stuff. Like, if I'm coming down here, I support this, whatever's going on down here, if it's the feast, or if it's, you know, rap parties for movies or whatever, and other stuff going on down here, and they support me. Like, you know, they'll be coming out to all my events. When people say, yo, G-Fella's performing, it'll be the normal hip-hop crowd, and then there'll be like 8 70-year-old guys sitting in the corner with, like, you know, weird, different crowd, but it's they show me love because I'm not trying to be what I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I think these days, they're clinging on to, they're trying to be what everybody's doing. You know, it's like carbon copy stuff. Course, like if someone does a song with a jingle bell in the background, everybody's gonna do bell songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's why, you know, G is gonna stand out, and that's why G makes relationships, because I make them because people see me, they're like, yo, this kid, I don't care where I see this kid, he could be, you know, at Nathan's with his son, or I see him in Mulberry St, or I see him, you know, in the middle of the street, and that's G-Fella.
Some people might remember you from the Queen Latifah unit with 100% hater proof. What took so long for like the G-Fella, what we have now from then? What was what happened with that space?
Well, that's a good question. Lauren, can we get a few more of these?
Oh, you remember my name?
Of course I remember you.
Sure, how many you want, guys? 5? 2? That's it?
You guys want?
No, I'm good, I'm good.
Right, just let me run to the back and then I'll run.
Go ahead. So, basically, Latifah was 2002, I would say, 2003 that ended because she got nominated for Chicago. She had a big acting career taking off, which I love her. She's the best. She put us in tremendous opportunities from there, let us kind of do whatever we wanted. But since then and now, you're talking about like a 7-year gap. You know, I took some time off, got a little aggravated with how the politics of the game was. You know, I had to switch my team up. I had to actually, you know, get rid of a lot of dead weight that was around me. I had to, you know, sit there and say, what do I got to do to come back to do what I want, you know, from my way, Sinatra style. Like, I don't give a freak who the hell comes at me and says, you know, nah, you should do more. Nah, screw you. This is what is going down. So I put my team together, and it took a while to find the right people, because it's not like I don't meet people off the street and be like, yo, let's do something. You know, to me, you have to earn your trust with me. So basically, I didn't really just go to anybody. You know, me and Suits hooked up. You know, we have a long relationship. Mike, success through mutual friends, restaurant, couple guys, you know, nice dudes, you know, whatever. They hooked it all up because they knew what we did. It was a marriage, music, lyrics, you know, and then success came into the picture, and then once I started seeing, like, and we all felt it as well, because we all went through our similar stories of, you know, bullshit in the game. Pretty much, we said, yo, this is a winning team right here. So I think we should move along and really just go all out with it. And there was a lot of planning. There was a lot of, you know, thinking of how are we gonna just kind of totally change everything. Like, we're not gonna, I don't want to go to a label and sit down with them and they're like, oh, but what about a video? Nah. We're going to do all of that. We're going to do everything where there is no question. We're going to think of everything you're going to think of, and we're going to counter it already when we walk in.
So basically you're going to do your own marketing, because when you get there, they have their own plan. You're like, no, that's not the G-Fella model. The G-Fella model was already set, it's written, it's drawn up. So I saw your marketing plans, like, very original. I haven't seen something like that since Diddy did the Big Mac. I haven't seen that since that. I haven't seen nothing since then. I was like, wow. I was like, this is impressive.
Because people are not thinking outside the box, you know. And what we said is, we said, you know, we're gonna go with what works for us, and we're gonna let them know, because there's no imagination anymore. There's a lot of bodies sitting behind desks that's just trying to keep their jobs, you know. And I love them, you know, and do what you gotta do. You gotta pay your bills and support your family, fine. But no one's taking risks. No one's trying to think about anything anymore. They just want it so laid out for them, or so done for them already, that pretty much we were like, you know what, we're going to do it for them. We're going to lay it out for them. They're not going to have to use their imagination. But guess what? If they don't come in on the ground floor, they're going to have to pay those prices.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you're going to have to come out your pocket way more than you had to in the beginning.